Okay. All right. So here we are. It is late summer and we're moving into fall. So we're going to do a little bit with the meridians related to late summer, which are stomach and spleen. These are the earth meridians and they're largely in the legs. And let's just start first though, because it's been a little while, just doing our usual warm up. Is everything okay on that end? Okay. So I don't know if you've been practicing this, if this is a comfortable thing to do for now, or if it's a little unfamiliar. It's always a good way to start. And just start taking some breaths in and out. So stomach spleen as earth element represents how we nourish ourselves. Do we nourish ourselves? Do we know how? Do we know what we need? And then how do we meet that need? Let's just take another nice breath in and let it go. And we'll coast to a stop here. And then just beginning with that question about nourishment and what we need. You can place your hands on your abdomen or on your heart or one on each. And as we're connecting through the floor, feeling our feet on the ground, feeling our feet on the earth and that which is supporting us, just taking a moment to go within and ask, how am I right now? How am I feeling? What am I feeling? Any immediate information that might come up? And if you like, you can stay in this position. I find this one a little bit more comfortable, but there's an embodied self-care pose that we can do for ourselves if we're feeling a need for some self-care. You place one hand on the opposite side of your body and the other hand on the shoulder. Sometimes I feel like this is a little constrictive, so you can stay here if you like, but just kind of giving yourself a very gentle, not grabby, but just a gentle hug. Which can feel good, it can feel weird, it can feel contrived. And just take a couple breaths in and out with this, how am I? All right, now release our arms. Shake it out if you need to. All right, we're going to go into a series of 4 moves, eight times each. Now they begin the same way in that we are kind of coming down and bringing up our visualization movement from the feet up to the abdomen. So what you can do is you can either do a little squat. I'd rather see you activate the thighs and the knees more than actually bending forward through the spine, because that can get a bit tiring after a while. And if it's just even a small squat, but you're imagining drawing up through the insides of the legs to the abdomen, and then we'll do different hand motions for each series. Okay? So imagining drawing up from the toes with the inhale, up through the center, the inside of the legs, up to the belly, and then pushing down nice and strong through the palms. That's 1. We're going to do 7 more. Breathing in, breathing out. And just imagining that chi coming up through the earth, through the legs, up into the abdomen, pushing out what we don't need. Breathing in. Breathing in. in. I think this is 8. We'll call it 8. Breathing in and breathing out. We're going to continue the pulling up, but then we're going to push forward nice and strong through the palms. So breathing in, pulling up through the legs, up to the abdomen, pushing out, forward with the exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, 4. Breathing in, 5. 6. Probably warming up about now. 7 and 8. All right, let's release the arms by the sides. We can take a little break here. It's a lot of work for the legs and the knees and the thighs. All right, coming back in, we're going to continue the move. We're going to push out to the sides. Breathing in, drawing up through the inner legs, pushing out to the sides. Drawing up. Breathing out. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. One more. And 8. All right, last set. How are your legs feeling? All right, last one we're going to push up. So we're kind of continuing that movement from the earth up to the heavens, again through the palms. This will give us a little bit of stretch through the abdomen. So hopefully it'll relieve a little bit of the tension in the legs as we stand up nice and tall. All right, it's coming down, up through the inner legs, draw up, push up with the palms. You just raise your arms as high as is comfortable for your shoulders. And releasing down, drawing up. Pushing up, extend through the legs, extend through the palms. 3. 4. 5. 6. 2 more. 7. Last one. Feel the strength of your legs, strength of the torso, strength of the arms. Pushing up and release. All right. A little more pelvic twist. Let's work all that out. If you like, we can do a little forward bend here, stretch out the backs of the legs. You can massage your knees a little bit if they're feeling a little cranky after all that. bending, squatting. All right. All right. So again, just a little bit of, again, communicating to our body a sense of support from the ground and through the legs. We just come into bow stance or some semblance thereof, where you have one foot out in front, one foot in the back. We'll just start with, as you're standing up tall, unbend the knees, right? So this is our baseline here. Neither knee is bent. Now we're just going to start moving, shifting the weight forward to the front foot and then to the back foot. And as we move the weight forward to the front foot, just let your knee bend. See if you can keep your back leg straight. You're pushing equally weight into both feet. So they're both supporting you. And then we're going to shift the weight back. This leg, the front leg straightens out, the back leg bends a little. Just gently, slowly with a breath, moving forward, feeling the stability of your legs. As your center of gravity is passed from one leg to the other, feeling the pressure of the floor supporting you from below. All right, come back to center. We're going to switch legs. Again, finding whichever width is more comfortable for you. And starting with both knees unbent, and then we're going to slowly transfer center of gravity forward, bend the forward knee, transfer it back, bend the back knee. And again, nice and slow, just feeling that ease of transference from one foot to the other. Both feet are really nice and planted on the floor. All right. Come back to center. And we're going to do a top of the foot stretch. So let's just do that the way we normally do it, where if you need to support yourself by holding on to something, we're going to take one foot, bring it back as far as is comfortable, and then place your toes under. I know this has been a while for me doing this. Be sure to try to get all the toes, so you can roll the foot to get your pinky toe, roll it back to get the big toe. And then we'll switch when you're ready. Get the other foot. All right. So we're going to do this again, continuing, but we're going to bring in an awareness of the stomach meridian here, because the stomach meridian, it ends on the second toe. It starts on the face, but we're going to work our way from the bottom up, and it comes up the outer front of the leg. So it comes up the shin bone, top of the foot, along the shin bone, outer part of the knee, up the quadriceps, up the abdomen, and then up the neck. So again, finding your support, we're going to begin with an awareness of this line as we do our top of the foot stretch. And you may not feel the sensation of stretch, but you can imagine we're really activating and pulling on that line from the foot up through the shin, through the knee, through the thigh, and then maybe we pull the pubic bone up a little bit so we're feeling it cross the hip crease. And then if it's comfortable, and if you're feeling steady, you can give a little bit of, let's say, elongation through the front of the body. So you're not thinking so much about curving the spine as you are about pulling up your chest. We're just going to open that line up through the abdomen, up into the upper chest, and then up into the face. I'm just taking a couple breaths here as we imagine this opening. We're often in these opposite position. So this is a nice way to open up what we call the front line, the superficial front line. But it also challenges balance a bit too, right? All right. I'm going to switch feet. You can shake that one out a little if you need to. We're going to come to the other side. Curling the toes under, following that line off the top of the foot, front of the ankle, up the front of the shin, side of the knee, quadricep. Tuck the tailbone under. Feel that pull up through the leg gates, through the hip crease, up through the abdomen. Lift up through the chest, open up the front line, front of the torso. All right, now we'll let that go. Shake out the foot. Whatever else we need to do, let that one go. All right, let's do a few head and neck and shoulder moves. So we're just going to start first with just moving the head. So yeah, just thinking about the head leading the movement. So just start with just lowering the head down. So tuck your chin under, let your forehead relax toward the floor. And we'll bring it up again. We'll do this a couple times, nice and slow. Tucking the chin, lowering the forehead. And bring it back up. And then we're going to go to the side, lower one ear to one shoulder, nice and gently. Bring it back up. You can coordinate it with your breath if you like. And then we will go to the other side. So just going as far as our neck muscles allow. I'm going to say we're not going to go all the way back because I know this can be a little bit uncomfortable, but just a little bit of lifting the chin. So we're not really extending all the way through the neck, just a little slight lift of the chin and then back to center. All right. So now we're going to continue these movements where we're going to think about these movements, the head in relationship to the neck, the shoulder, and the rib cage. So we're going to start side to side because I think it's a little bit easier to feel this. So think about your head leading these other parts. And so we're going to allow the shoulders and the ribs to move. So as we lower the head to one side, to the shoulder, we're going to allow the shoulder to come up as well. We're not forcing the shoulder up, it's just the head is pulling the shoulder over and it's pulling the opposite ribs up. So it's creating this motion all the way through the upper body, and then we're going to bring it back up. Thinking about your head leading the motion. And again to the side. Do that about 3 times on each side, nice and slow. Again, just thinking about mobilizing the head, shoulder follows, upper ribs follow, head comes back to center. All right, let's do a couple in the front. So the head is leading. And then the upper back is following. So there's a little bit of rounding of the shoulders as the shoulders come forward, and the upper back also kind of lifts up, and then bringing the head back. Do that again. So usually when we do these moves, we're just isolating one part of the body, and now we're like moving the head in relationship with the other parts of the body following along. And it's good to be able to do both ways, all ways. All right, let's come back to side, only this time we're gonna let the rib cage lead. So the head is still gonna move to the side, the motion's gonna look the same, but instead of thinking about moving the head first, think about turning your rib cage to the side and then the head follows. So we're letting the ribs be the leader here. It's a little bit of a different mind-body connection here. About your ribs, maybe even your shoulder girdle is just leading the way, and the head goes along for the ride. So the head doesn't always have to be in control, right? Go to each side. All right. Let's try this going forward. It's a little bit trickier, but just think about sort of collapsing and rolling the shoulders forward and then letting the head follow that motion. And then pulling back up through the center of your rib cage back to center. Collapsing in, roll the shoulders, relax the neck, let the head follow. Pull back up from the center of your back. A little different sensation. All right. Okay. I'm going to shake that out. Just notice how you feel in your head, neck, and shoulders. Hopefully they're all kind of playing nice with each other now. Everybody gets a turn doing the leader. All right. Just do a little bit more arm swinging here before we go back to the legs for the last part of this class. Lower them down, let the arms hang, open up the shoulder joints. All right. Let's rolling up and just do a couple nice forward bend, back of the leg stretches. So stretch up, hinge at the hips, lower down through the legs, pelvis, rib cage, head. Pause and breathe here. And push down through the feet. Pull on up. Let's try that one more time. Nice breath in. Stretching up, release the breath, release the upper body. And come on up. All right. We're going to do a couple more stomach spleen, just to cap off that sense of activating the meridians in the legs. So spleen is on the inside, kind of opposite where the stomach is. Stomach is up on the outside. So instead of with the hand pushing, we're going to come down again, kind of draw up through the insides of the legs, cross over to the hips, pushing down through the outside of the legs. Let's just do this a couple times. Nice breath in, pulling up, pushing down. Let's do one more. Now we're going to do one at a time. So bring both hands over to the inside of your left foot. Draw up the inside of the left leg. Come around down the outside of the left leg. Come over to the inside of the right leg. Pulling up, outside of the right leg. Let's do that one more time on each side. Inside of the left leg. Outside of the left leg. Over to inside of the right leg. Outside of the right leg. One more time up this center for both sides. Inside of the legs, outside of the legs. Come up to the belly. And then just 3 nice clockwise circles on the abdomen. All right. Back to our pelvic twist. Shake it all out. Take some nice deep releasing breaths. Hopefully your legs feel nice and awake or something. All right, so as we are concluding here, I'm gonna coast to a stop again. And coming back to our original position again, if you want. Hands on the belly, one on the heart, self-care pose, whatever you want to do here. Some kind of contact with self and just taking some breaths and again asking, how am I now? And what could I reach for this day or ask for or allow in to help nourish me today? All right. It's been a while. I almost forgot how we usually end this, so I can't hear you, but we'll do it anyway. All right, so take whatever stance is comfortable for you, and we'll do our usual howla fashion. Breathing in, nice breath in. Open the chest. Howla. All is well and getting better. Let's do one more. Breathing in. Howla. All right. That concludes today's class. I'm going to stop the recording now. Thank you for joining me.